Welcome! It's time for the Turtlecast. Yes, I forgot to announce it ahead of time, so I need to send a post on Discord so everyone can see we are actually starting the Turtlecast. I was in game before testing some stuff, and that would usually happen when I'm testing stuff. I almost missed the time for the Turtlecast, but we are indeed here. Okay, notification send. And the Turtlecast, I didn't change title on Twitch. Yeah, I didn't. Not the test server. We're on the test server before. If you missed the live stream and you are interested about what's coming in next major update, definitely go back to it. There is a lot. I will not be able to really give a very short version straight away. Later on, I will probably do some videos about summary of separate chapters that there are, like armor, weapons, the Bigfoot, and so on. But that will wait. I want to do some new player guide that I'm working on. So the top strongest weapons for new players, like top starter weapons, which are completely different than end game best weapon choices. Like you can say, end game absolutely Gauss minigun dominates. You will not say that about early game, not even at level 50. To push Gauss minigun to dominate, you need to have everything first, or you'll be just holding a weapon without any ammo for it and without doing any damage even when you have ammo. So completely different scenario. Good that I still kept some of my low-level characters so I can test and compare. Some results are sometimes surprising, what performs and what doesn't at low level. So that's coming later today, hopefully, if I finish the guide. And welcome, I see people in the chat, so we are live indeed. Hello there, No Step on Clippy, Andreas Sanners, Rod, Historic Ger, Carly, Randy B, iPhone's, Lucas, Henrik, Jesus for you, and Loganuk. Thank you a lot for a sub on Twitch, appreciate that. Welcome to Turtles Army. So a lot is happening. Let's check if there was any new article on follow.com. Sometimes I do miss some if they post a lot in the same time. And about TV show, we know the TV show is up. I watch and it's awesome. Yeah, the patch notes is the latest article. So patch notes, I already covered entire patch notes in video, and we did the live stream in topic of changes. So that's already up. And Discord. Did Bethesda posted anything? No, the yesterday about the public test server. So it's all good. Honestly, I was not expecting the public test server to go live so early, like in December. I was expecting it second week of January. So I was so surprised. And now I'm online, like last 24 hours, basically online, testing the stuff and checking out, doing both the live game version and the test server, which is a lot at this moment. I didn't even fully accumulate to all the changes with Burning Springs and so on, and we already have changes incoming in most likely March. Before I be chatting more with you, let's start in order this time around and cover the questions from our Discord. Angry Turtle ask the question section of Turtles Army. That's where we are heading now. Okay, I see where I finished. Let's switch the camera so you can see. Wait, what did I tap? Nope. That's not the camera switch button. I switched something else. And that's the one. First one. In your perk list, you missed survival shortcut also restores. Oh, it does. It's true. I didn't miss it. I just don't. I would never use a survival syringe to top up my feral. And the reason for that is those are precious syringes, can be used for healing and disease curing when I'm human. So I would not use it for just restoration of the feral. The reason for that, I can for free spam Radex, follow apps by Radex diluted, and I fully feel feral without any risk of addiction, without side effects, and without wasting survival syringes. So I didn't consider that as a valid option. It doesn't mean you cannot do it. I just don't see it as economically valid option to run survival syringes to manage your feral. Especially that it's taking a legendary slot. If I want to take legendary slot to fill up feral, there is perk card that is filling up, the legendary perk that is filling up feral for you when you kill stuff. And then you don't even need to consume anything. So I would go the other route if I would really like legendary card for feral management. Do you have a solo ghoul raid build that doesn't involve power armor or Elder's Mark? That's a very odd question, because that's like asking, do you have a raid build that's not optimal? I mean, it's possible. You don't need to go the meta and top damage and so on. It just, why would I do the guide to showcase that off meta will still work, that's just not as good? Like, you can do it, you can see me running the raid on experience farming build, and with help of others I am still succeeding, not contributing as much as on proper raid runner build with power armor and Gauss minigun and so on. Generally, for raid the idea is to use the best gear available, and you can go without it. I did that as Green Arrow too, with full team of Green Arrows. We completed entire raid slower than on typical raid runner build, but we completed. So it's possible. Would I ever do the guide like that? Most likely no, as that's like defeating the purpose by design. It would be a challenge run rather than a build. I hope I got that right. It's not like I want to be offensive and say, no, you cannot do it, how dare you. I'm just saying, if I'm going for the guide, I always try to find the strongest option. And the guide is for the strongest option available. And then Angry Panda. Oh, in the chat, if you disagree with my opinion, let me know. I'm curious why. Hello, Angry Turtle. I think I know where the Bigfoot even is gonna be. There is a barn with a big chains. Oh, there is, yeah. We still, about the Bigfoot, we have the Bigfoot on public test server already. We know how it looks like. I think it's not much of a spoiler. That's a behemoth, just a furry one. Super mutant behemoth, but this is a furry version of the behemoth. Different skin. And appearing after the events. But most likely, yes, most likely there is something about this barn in Ohio. I know which barn. I was there. And maybe in the future there will be some special new event or boss fights. And that's extended answer to someone else. There it is. Question. If a target is slowed by cryo, has one crippled leg, is suppressed, suppressor perk, no. Suppressor doesn't count. There is only 5 effects like that count. There is cryo, fire, poison, cripple, and I forgot the 5th one. Bleeding. That's the 5. There's only 5 that counts. 5 effects that count. Suppressor perk and other possible afflictions that you can apply to a target do not count. So maximum 50%, 5 effects. If not using the lucky hit, 3rd star legendary, how many limit breaking I need for 2-shot crits and how many luck? This is with Crit Savvy 3. The best will be 5 pieces of limit breaking, and then you only need 16 luck. You can drop it to 4 pieces of limit breaking, but then the luck goes over 30. I forgot exactly, but it's like over 30 luck. And if you have only 3 pieces of limit breaking, then luck is like 50 or something, so you cannot really reach it. So 1 less, but generally just go with full set of limit breaking, then power armor or regular armor will be way more universal on other builds that maybe you don't have very high luck. Maybe you could make a video on how many limit breaking is needed for specific amount of luck. There is a table somewhere. with that. Someone sent me that. I don't know who created it, but it exists. It exists. I saved it somewhere. I don't remember where now, but it exists. I would need to find who created it. Query. Remember, I said something about your videos making a noise that irritates my ears. Please review your video. Next major update, Bigfoot is coming. Times 7. That click or tick sound. Click or tick sound? Okay, I can check that later. Now I will not be able to figure that out. During Bigfoot video at the beginning, there was a guy with leaf blower cleaning outside, but I think that's not what you are referring to. I cannot really hear much myself and like click, but I will investigate that. Is it possible to stealth Guardian without Chinese stealth suit stealth voice? Yes, with full set of Chameleon. Let's say I will use 4 pieces of covered scout armor with shadowed mode and secret agent 3rd star. 5th piece will be secret service piece with jetpack. Cannot let it go. So in total, my stealth bonus is going to be 70 sneak card, but you will need to be invisible. When you move, it will probably detect you. So you can stay hidden when stationary. I don't know how much you'll be able to move before it detects you, how often you need to stop for Chameleon to re-engage. Weightless will not help, as Weightless is for Chameleon mutation, switches itself off when you start firing, so useless. Chameleon, yeah, Chameleon, what I'm talking about, Chameleon will help. Deputy Chameleon will make you invisible for the Guardian when you are not moving. How much you can move? I didn't test that. With full sneak perk and everything that you have here, most likely will be able to move quite a bit before Guardian can detect you. So you need to just move a little, stop, or move behind the filler and stop there. Next. Hi Turtle, are you able to make a build purely for auto axe and choo-choo power armor and grenades to get the most damage out of them? The auto axe needs to use Furious, Pickpocket, Glow, and Pounders, as Pickpocket and Glow both work on choo-choo. That's good. It's meant as an expedition setup where I do not care about looting and still grab so extra caps farming for stumps. Interesting idea. I think it's possible. I need to unlock the effects though. I need to unlock the effects. I'm struggling with unlocking all those new effects. Like, I don't have Pickpocket. I don't have glowing. I only drop 1 mod box for glowing that I already used. Everything else, that sounds solid. Not sure why you need auto axe. Could be any melee weapon, to be honest. Although auto axe is good, still the strongest DPS overall from melee. Very good idea, honestly. I do plan to do some special builds with those new legendary effects, but I need to unlock them, so that will be later when I finally unlock it. Stealth, we know that stealth boys work, but you need to consume them, so that's expensive. On the VATS build, I have the same gear as you, same build, same special, but even with food buffs, I'm only pushing 700 health. At the end of your demo, you are near 900. How? Is the difference between carnivore and herbivore? That's the only thing I can think of, unless you are using different legendary perks. There is no difference between carnivore and herbivore in the potential to health, although you will be using... Okay, the tiny difference there is, but not much. Although you will be using different food. For carnivore, for boosting health, you use pemmican for 8 endurance, and then you use meatball grinder, Scorchbeast meatball grinder for 100 health. For herbivores, you will use like a pumpkin pie for 100 health, and then the soup, one of the soup that gives 5 endurance. So you will be 3 endurance less. Why would you be missing so much? Are you full health? Are you ghoul? Or like, regardless if you ghoul or human, in case of human, you need to have full food bar, as that's scaling with health, and then you need to add rejuvenator perk. You said you copy all my perks, so I assume you do have extra health at night and extra endurance at day under endurance category, and your endurance is maxed out. So I cannot see how it's 900, like 200 missing. You could be missing with missing buffs, maybe 100, but not 200. So I'm guessing it's the food. Are you using the food if you are herbivore? If you are not using the food, then yeah, 8 endurance plus 100 health. Endurance boosts health, so that almost 200. Yeah, if you don't use any food, you are losing almost 200 health. So that may be it. I could consider making a guide in the future how to hit 1000 health, as there is this healthy. You can basically hit 1000 health with healthy legendary effects on armor. Is there any way to increase the odds of learning mods? I have most of the old mods learned, and it seems like the more mods I learn, the more I need to scrap to unlock new mods. So there is officially nothing, but what I heard is to collect whatever mods you want to unlock until you have like 20 to 40 of those mod boxes or items with this particular legendary effect, and then go on private server and scrap them in bulks, like of 10. Don't scrap one by one, but bulks of 10. I have no idea if it actually helps. That's what I heard. Scrap in bulks. It can be just a random theory. I don't know, but that's the only thing I heard about that remotely can help. What's the best way to get 4-star equipment as a level 230 solo player? The Guardian farming. Latest guide for new players is absolutely perfect for you, as it's available from around level 100, so you have twice as many levels as needed to run it. The Guardian. What are the best roles for a Tesla cannon in raid or events, etc., like tagging? I mainly am looking for a good heavy tagging weapon, but is the Tesla cannon good in the raid too? For tagging, Tesla cannon is great. For the raid, you can use Tesla cannon for defense on stage 2, but that's it. You are not tagging in the raid, and you can use Tesla cannon to find missing enemies on stage 4. The best legendary rolls, whatever prefix will give you the highest damage. If you are high health, you can run Juggernauts. If you are not, you can run Mutants. Furious is good, but it's not from the first shot. So if it's tagging weapon, so Furious is not good. So you are running Mutants or Juggernauts. So if you are low health, you can run Bloodied, and then second star must be explosive, and then additional stars do not matter. Hayati, in case you have missed it, Atoms is on sale on Steam. Oh, so I need to buy them. Thank you. Also, did you like my Borg Cube a while out? I did like your Borg Cube. It was awesome. I did like it. And lastly, what's the current state of the Fast Fighter? Reload speed scales with movement speed perk. Current state, as I described, not really useful, but it is changing. It is changing with next patch. So next major patch, the movement cap is being increased from 120 to 150%. Therefore, using more movement speed perks will be beneficent for how fast you are actually moving. Therefore, the Fast Fighter at worst case scenario will be giving 25% reload, which is a good value point for 2-point perk. And best case scenario, let's say you are running something like a Fixer that comes with 100% move speed plus yo 50, so you'll have 150% bonus. It will be 75% reload speed. Awesome for Fixer. Therefore, yeah, from the next patch, Fast Fighter is going up on ranking to B, maybe A, something there, B or A tier. Currently, it's still on the bottom, as we are all running with 120% move speed, so it's barely 10% reload speed, not worth it as is. But it will be worth it later on. And now, I'm going back to the chat. Let's see what's going on there in the chat. Okay. What did I miss? I need to scroll up a little. This release cycle has been intense. Yes, absolutely. I'm behind with everything at this moment. I apologize for that, but I'm trying to cover a guide for the current update and for the new stuff. A lot is already on the channel. If you scroll my videos, a lot is covered. If you feel like anything particularly important is missing, just drop that in Ask the Turtle section and I will read it next week. Or say in the chat, comment. Usually I see the comments. Not 100%, but usually I do see them. Yeah, so Rascal is agreeing with me like about the guide situation, but without optimal gear. So it's like saying, do you have a guide on skiing, but without skis? Yeah, that's how I feel it is. Can you make a video about making a video? Making a video. One angry Scotsman. Oh, DC really? You managed to rank up 20 times from the Guardian yesterday? Nice. Guardian is good. Guardian is good. It's dropping the most loot and experience is just, as they say, cherry on top. That's the experience. And Vinyl is confirming that maybe it's anecdotal, but the best luck unlocking on private world. Yeah, I think server lag may be playing into it. Maybe something as well with scrapping in bulk to improve that I don't really know, but it feels like it is better. You seen someone nuking the snake with Tesla cannon? I mean, you can do decent damage with Tesla cannon, but that's not even comparable with other fast-firing heavy guns for the DPS. Yeah, or hopping the server if nothing unlocking on adventure. So next patch is specific armor now for specific builds. Kind of, yes. I don't know how they really want to achieve that, but they are diversifying armors a little bit more. Which ones are giving more ballistic, which ones are giving more energy, and which ones in particular are balanced. And all armors are providing elemental resistances more or less as well now. I don't know what will be the final balance, but now, yeah, it's a lot. I'm inspecting all those armors and how they look like on the live stream, so you can see it there if you have no access to public test server yourself. And Jesus for you, thank you a lot for donating 10 memberships to Turtle's Army. Appreciate that. And who do I welcome? I welcome Iphonis, Derek Snelling, Exfanetto, Michael Small, Kana Wetart, Namnatas, Mr. Red, Xof, Every Diligent Burger, and MK Lovecraft. Welcome, and may the shell be with you. Huge thanks to Chassis for you. What is my Christmas end of the year streaming schedule? I don't know. I will stream when I will have a moment. I will have my little one with me during the Christmas break, so for 2 weeks. So it may be affected, but I will still try to stream plus minus as I'm streaming. It may be shorter live stream, but I will try to jump on and stream nevertheless to see you all and jump on the Fallout a little bit. Shouldn't collide too much. I can start earlier most likely. I will start on Saturday a little bit earlier stream and maybe shorter. But I do plan to be here. I do plan to be here and stream. I may skip a Turtlecast. I will see, or move it to Thursday. But Saturday I definitely want to stream nevertheless. Yes, the turbo thread does not work on Precare Plant. I don't know if that's intended. It should work, but it doesn't. It was reported on public test server and they didn't fix it. So I don't I don't know how it's supposed to work. I only know how it does or does not work. And going back to armor and its changes, the biggest change to the armor is like power armor is providing like 5 to 10 times more damage resistance and energy resistance than regular armor, but it is losing its special effect, which is radiation reduction and damage reduction. The special effect is lost. Instead, it has much more resistances themselves, and it's getting heavier. Like my power armor that I'm using, so far the frame was 30 pounds. After the changes, my power armor weight is 30 pounds. So it's like triple the weight. I hope they maybe revisit. It seems like a lot. I will not be able to carry with me a lot of power armors as the weight is going drastically up. For the regular armor, it's other way around. Regular armor becomes lighter and power armor becomes heavier. Intended or not, maybe. In practice, it makes sense. The power armor that provides 5 times the resistance is significantly heavier, like 5 times heavier than regular armor set. So that makes sense in the practical and like immersive standpoint. Do I need this immersion? I would prefer more star space, but yeah, I can see how they treat it as improvement. I don't like this improvement though. Angry Scotsman, thank you a lot for 20 quid. Appreciate that. Angry Scotsman is saying for more atoms and hope you enjoy your Christmas Eve and day. Thank you very much, Angry Scotsman. Appreciate that. I hope you will enjoy it too. I mean, we'll see each other online before the Christmas, but yeah. Thank you very much, and I will be buying those atoms. I spent all the donations from today on those atoms. It's going to increase my atom count. I don't know exactly how much, but I think at minimum 5 large packages, if that's the sale like last time, as those sales are rare. So most likely another one in a year or so. So I don't want to risk that I will run out of items, of atoms. Has Bethesda ever stated when the raid bonus box challenge is available? It's once a week. For each character, it's looked like once a week. Oh, first time it was available for you for each character and then only one? So that may be some kind of a bug. It should refresh every week. Maybe it's bugged then. It's supposed to refresh every week. What purpose those changes serve? I can only go by what they say. They want more variety and diversify armors and make them all pay some niche use case and so on. But yeah, I don't really see like it was. Do I think it was necessary? No. I do appreciate if those changes will go as is, that I can farm Guardian on the public test server without using troubleshooters. So I would be using the next best armor prefix, which is Aristocrats after the changes. Aristocrats changes into deflection armor. So that's really good. But I will need to update. One thing I don't like, it's not very hard to switch a prefix on armor, but more they do those changes, more often I'm switching legendary effects, the more the cost in script is going up. So if they will keep rebalancing and I would be swapping prefix or any stars, any legendary effects on my armor with each update, eventually it will be so expensive that I will need to scrap entire armor sets and craft them from scratch, as that will be cheaper. So that's the biggest problem. The cost goes up forever, and I don't like that. If maybe they will introduce like a cap, maximum switch cost of, let's say, 300 script per switch, and never increase it more, then that will be more doable. But as the price is going up and up, eventually the armor piece is just good to be destroyed and new one need to be crafted. Some options comes from those changes. I did test on public test server, so you can see there are some new options, but not necessarily as many as Bethesda think they are. They switching stuff. What they are doing in reality, they are swapping the armor meta upside down. So we'll all need to grind for new legendary effects or new armor sets to replace our old armor sets. As, let's say, you are running full set troubleshooters and out of a sudden it's not needed and there is another new awesome prefix, you need to swap it. And let's say you are running secret service, but your enemies are doing a lot of energy damage and you are suddenly dying, as after the changes, secret service has very low energy resistance, and you need a full new set of armor with higher energy resistance. A secret service after the changes is high damage resistance by low energy. Yeah, so from the next patch, if enemies are using mostly energy weapons to kill you, you will need a new armor. It is diminishing returns on all damage reduction effects, although it is way less visible in case of... can I open calculator on this PC to show you? Way less visible on the small effects. Okay, can I do full screen calculator? Okay, I will show you. So what does it mean? The quick math. Switching to math now. All right. So math. Troubleshooters is 75% reduction. So let's say we are reducing the damage that is 100, and currently we are reducing it with armor that is total of full set of troubleshooter is 75%. So I just multiply it by 0.25, and that's how much damage I'm taking. 25. 0.25 comes from 1 minus the 75% reduction. So that's 25. That's current math. I'm reducing 100 damage that robot is doing to me by 75%, and it's left with 25. Now the new math, the diminishing return math. So again, now enemy is still doing 100, but now I'm reducing by 15% per piece. So 15% per piece, so yep, 0.85, so that's 15% missing, that's the reduction. And that's one piece. And that's second piece. And that's a third piece. And that's the fourth piece. And that's the fifth piece reduction. And we come down to 44.3 damage taken and not 25. So that's the diminishing returns. It's less visible in case of something like Overeaters, which is 6%. They want to nerf it, but hopefully they will revert it. So 6%, 5 pieces, that's 30% reduction. So again, enemy that does 100 damage, I have Overeaters set, reducing the damage by 70%, and I'm taking 70 damage instead of 100. The new math, so enemy doing 100 damage, I'm reducing this damage by 6% per piece. So 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces, 5 pieces. So you can see close, I'm taking 3 damage more than with old math. There is as well additional change that affects damage as well a little bit, but less prominent, and you probably will not notice as they change amount of resistances that armor already has that will affect everything. The other change is that this reduction will be calculated to the damage you are taking after armor. And now in the live game version, we are doing this calculation first, and then we are applying armor, like damage resistance. So that's the diminishing returns. I hope that helps. I have no other idea how to showcase that. So going step by step with the calculator, I hope it's helpful. Was that helpful? I was trying to be helpful, but I tend to do half of the math in my head without saying it out loud, and then that may be a problem. But that's the idea. Was that helpful? So it's all the percentage damage reductions will work like that. When you are stacking multiple, you will be stacking it with new multiplicative formula, which is diminishing returns, in other words. It was good. Okay, I'm happy to hear that. So that's what's happening with the next patch to the armor calculations. Not as huge impact by itself, because they are in the same time reworking all the values on the armor. So everything is changing. We'll basically need to adapt to new armor sets with new rules together. Yeah, the overeaters change doesn't make sense. I hope they will revert it. Like, no one would use overeaters if they nerf it. Why would they reduce it when mutants' new effect will be 5% per piece and you only need to have 3 mutations? I hope they will allow me to do at least tiny modifications. If we are reworking stuff, at least make it make sense and keep overeaters strong. Yeah, overeaters supposed to stay 6%. I don't see why it would be weaker. They may, like, you may argue that it should be either 6% or nothing. I could buy this argument. You either full and you got 6% per piece, or nothing if you are not full, let's say not over 70% full. But making it 4% max for no good reason doesn't make any sense. It will be a dead prefix with that change. Okay. Did I miss any important questions? Lucid is still 6%, which is even more crazy to reduce overeaters. That is Lucid equivalent for human. Why would you change one just randomly? Doesn't make any sense. And no one will convince me that it makes sense. It doesn't. Regardless of what they want to achieve balancing wise and so on, this change that just is random and without any justification. It's completely random. It doesn't balance anything. All right. So I think I answered all the questions. So that will be for this episode of the Turtlecast. And yeah, time to do challenges with members. We'll be doing a little bit of a hangout. And see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think I will do something different. It was a while since I did my last Zero to Hero run. So many changes. I will try Zero to Hero run, solo run, like starting a new character, fresh out of the vault, and maybe with ambitious goal of taking down the Guardian without anyone's help. Like, I will not accept any help. I will not accept any free items, free caps, or anything. I need to see what I can achieve from the moment I get out of the vault, and how far can I get in 4 hours, let's say. 3 to 4 hours. And that being said, thank you a lot everyone for being here, and see you tomorrow. Bye. Take care.